What the heck is Formula One?
Pole position, strategy,
yachts and parties,
safety car, Ferrari.
beautiful corners.
Oh, right, okay. There's a car in front of you. Try and overtake it.
Oh, I hate you so much.
Hello, you fools. Welcome back to another Formula Fools podcast. My name is David. With me, as always, as every day for the last 22 or 1 days, however many it's been, is Skin.
Hello. Oh, yeah. Still here. How's it going?
Oh, yeah. Go Skin. I'm good. How are you, Skin?
I'm good. Getting hungry, though. Wouldn't mind some dinner. But
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there, Skin. It's fine. For anyone that has been following along, and we've been talking about early mornings, is this the first late night one we've done? Or the second?
Second.
Yeah, second during this series.
Yeah.
Most of them have been fucking sticks.
Yeah. Stick somehow means early morning, I guess.
Yeah.
How do you feel
Yeah.
about that?
Is that not something you say?
I use sticks for a long way from the city. Like
Oh, okay,
I
right.
live in the sticks because I'm 40 minutes outside of the city.
I have heard you say that and then completely misunderstood it
Oh,
because I thought
Dave.
sticks was early
Still
morning.
learning your Australian slang, you fool.
Shit! I'm applying for my citizenship in a few months, and that's not a good sign
You
when
got
they
a
when
long
they
way to
listen to
go,
this
brother.
podcast. Yeah. Anyway, what are we doing? Why are we talking about what time it is in the recording and blah blah blah? It is our 34 and 34. Guess what? You guys are like 10 or 11 episodes away, or to 12. You're not far away from the end of this series. This is driver 9 of the 22 drivers. This is Carlos Sainz episode. If you've not listened to any of the, I feel like I'm doing this really shit. If you've not listened to any of the other 34 and 34, go back and do it. We've already covered 8 other drivers, all of the teams, and we've reviewed the liveries. Hopefully we've not recorded that one yet. And over the next 13 days, we're going to record, you're going to hear all about the other 13 drivers on the grid after today. But today is Carlos Sainz.
Oh, yeah.
Carlos Sainz's name, Carlos David Sainz. No, I'm just,
Ah,
I'm
okay.
fucking with you.
I got excited for a moment.
Yeah. Anyone that doesn't get that joke, listen to yesterday's episode. Carlos Sainz. I don't have a middle name for your Skin. I'm sorry.
That's fine and expected at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know why you started this series saying like their full name is and then not having their middle name. Like,
Because I had the middle name for
we didn't need to know their full name.
I had the middle name for a few. Like I knew I was going to have Kimmy's because I knew Kimmy was his middle name. And then
Right,
George, was it George or Like I had someone else's middle name as well.
right, okay.
So
But yeah, there were like 2 or 3 episodes where you're like, his full name is, I don't know his middle name. It's like, his full name wasn't really like the top of the things I wanted to know
Well,
about him. Like
this-
you could have just left it at George Russell and carried on. Like,
Yeah. Oh, 100% I could have, but also it's just not as funny. But also I was going to just say their age and then ChatGPT was like, do you want their date of birth? And I was like, that's funny. Like I'm going to tell everyone, like, so far you've not picked up on that. Like I'm giving you the date of birth to all these drivers. What the fuck does it matter?
yeah, I
But it's
suppose.
fun.
Yeah, it doesn't, yeah. good
You know what I
point.
mean?
Doesn't matter.
So it's
at
just an odd stat.
all. All right. Well,
You'll be
what day
happy
was
with
Carlos born?
You'll be happy with the date of birth on this one. The 1st of the 9th, 1994.
94.
94. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Carlos.
31 at the moment. Will turn 32 this year.
He's in his 30s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait, what?
He-
31.
He's 31 now. Yeah.
Oh.
94.
Yeah, okay. All
Yeah.
right, I see what
He'll
you
turn 32
Sure.
in September. So, yeah. Go Carlos. He's
mean.
doing it.
Man,
And,
he's getting up there.
let me tell you,
Could
for
be.
30, almost 32 years old, that guy still looks fucking good.
Oh, he's a handsome man.
Oh,
isn't he?
my God.
Something about his hair.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. He is with a shampoo brand or something like L'Oreal or some shit. And if it's not
course.
L'Oreal, he should be with L'Oreal. Just because I feel like his Spanish, like L'Oreal, because I'm with it. You know, that was a terrible Spanish
Yeah.
accent.
Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
he's doing well for himself.
Yeah. That's also his nationality is Spanish, if you didn't know. He was born just outside of Madrid, I think. And this year we have the Mad Ring, the great name that they came up with that one. The hybrid racetrack, city track. We spoke about it, Skin.
Yeah.
Barcelona's gone,
Yeah, I know that.
and Mad Ring is.
I knew they were moving to Madrid. I didn't know
Yeah.
they'd call it Mad Ring. And I didn't know it was a hybrid
Yeah.
racetrack street.
Yeah.
Circuit?
So there's elements of it that are a street
do you do?
circuit, and then they drive out to the sticks and do a. See, you see, I'm
Look at-
learning.
look
It's
at you
good.
learning.
Yeah. And then they do the rest of it is like a purpose built track. I don't know. I've seen I've seen renders of it and I've seen like a track map of it, and it's like a couple of flowy corners and then just squares, like like right angle corners, and it looks fucking weird.
What the hell?
I don't imagine it's going to be good, and I don't know how they're going to set the cars up. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to set the track up. Wait, so you start with a racetrack,
Yeah.
and then presumably most racetracks go around in a loop.
Well, yeah.
At
So
some
they've only
point,
built
they're just
half
gonna
of it
fuck off out into the street.
into onto a public road or some shit. Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah. Well,
That's different.
Think of Albert Park. Albert Park is right now is a public road, and then they close off the public road, and it becomes, even when you're there, it doesn't feel like a public road. It feels more like a racetrack when you're there.
Sure, yeah.
But
it's a public road. Like that's not a hybrid situation.
Yeah,
That's
true.
like-
Yeah.
That's a street circuit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. It's good. Yeah.
This is something entirely
This is something new.
You know what I think they should do next?
Go skin.
I think they should open up a hybrid circuit where part of the track is a pool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what has been proposed? I think in Saudi Arabia.
What?
A track on top of a skyscraper. No fucking joke.
Yep. I like it.
Have you seen it?
Haven't seen it, but
There's
I like
renders of it, and they've
should
got
do
one of the
that.
corners hanging over the side of the building.
Yep. Then we should have an F1 race on a dirt track. Then
Yeah.
we should have an
They do
F1
that in
race
NASCAR.
on a clay track.
Yeah, nice.
Maybe Rafael Nadal will win that one.
Yes. Pirelli has to come out with different types of rubber, and they all look like shoes. It's just shoes in a circle.
This opens up a whole new array of options. These idiots are thinking about changing the petrol to make the cars more efficient. They haven't even looked at the fucking tracks.
That's so true, Skin. I never looked at. I was angry at it, but now you're showing me a new light for this.
Oh,
it's literally Mario
F1
Kart.
has a long way to go. Yeah, mate. F1 rainbow track.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't we doing that?
Why don't we add mods where they get buttons to shoot out shells? Like, hey, clay track with a shell, a red shell coming towards you.
Mate,
Blue shell coming towards you. You better watch out, whoever's in the lead.
This sport has a long way to go.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Fucking hell. That was the best tangent we've been on in the series.
That's as tangenty as they get.
Yeah.
We need a hard U-turn. What were we talking about? Carlos Sainz?
Is from Madrid, which
Okay.
is the second
Okay.
is the second thing I write on the document.
Yeah, all right. Fuck.
10 minutes in.
All right, tell me the third thing about Carlos Sainz.
His debut year in Formula One was in 2015. So it's his 11th season. He's going into his 11th season in Formula One, which is very impressive.
Mhm.
He debuted for Toro Rosso, obviously in 2015. Never got the promotion into Red Bull. Stayed in Toro Rosso for a couple of years, I think it was, and then moved to McLaren because he was sick of it and didn't see any progression into the main roster. There was Danny Rick and Max Verstappen in the main team. And so I think he's looking at that and going, they're two fucking very good drivers.
Yeah, okay.
And I think a lot of Red Bull juniors at that time, just like Daniel Ricciardo, could see that Red Bull were investing more in Max. And if Carlos was going to go to that team, he would probably have to play second fiddle. And Carlos didn't want to do that. So he left, went to McLaren, left the program.
Okay. Wait, so sorry. How many years had he been with Toro Rosso?
So he did 3 seasons. He did 2015, 16, and 17. 2015 and 16. And then in 17, he went to, I missed a team. He went to Renault. Completely missed that one out.
Oh, disc, you fool.
Sorry, I am a fool. And by me, I mean Chad. He went to Renault in 2017, 18, then moved to McLaren in 19, 20, and then Ferrari 21 through to 24, Williams in 25 through to now.
Okay. So he was at Renault for a bit there. Was he ever at Renault at the same time as Danny Rick?
No. So yeah, you see, I always get confused here because Danny Rick also drove for Renault and McLaren around the same time as Carlos drove for Renault and McLaren, but they never actually drove together. They were both, I think, teammated Hülkenberg at Renault. But I want to say, because Oscar took the McLaren seat from Danny, so Danny must have taken them. No, Carlos must have taken the McLaren seat from. Let me look at Danny Rick's now because I'm fucking confused. Carlos was in Renault from 2017 to 2018.
Okay.
Danny Rick was in Renault from 2019 to 20. Okay.
Gotcha. So Carlos goes from Renault to McLaren in 2019.
And 2020. And then Danny Rick takes over from him in 21, 22 for McLaren. And then Oscar took over from him in 23.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. I'm with you. Holy heck.
I never thought Danny Rick was in McLaren. That I always think Danny Rick left McLaren by 2020 but
I
it was later.
I didn't even know he went. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, there you go.
So yeah,
Holy heck.
that little era there always confuses the hell out of me because they both played switcheroo every couple of seasons.
Yes, okay. All right, so now I know at least what he did over the years. Why did he do this over the years? Like Carlos Sainz seemed like you look at that, and I mean, I understand your confusion, Dave. This man is a bit of a club slut. That's That's classic. Like that's what we call him in cricket. If someone's played at like more than 2 clubs, I'd say you start getting a reputation. Not ideal. So what was he doing? Why? I can understand the move from Toro Rosso to Renault if he was never going to make it.
He wanted to get out of the Red Bull program.
Yep. And I can definitely understand the move from Ferrari to Williams, because
Lewis Hamilton
took that seat. So what happened in his years at Renault? Why the move to McLaren? What happened in his years at McLaren? Why the move to Ferrari?
Honestly, smart decisions from him. Like I think the move from Toro Rosso to Renault is a step up the grid. Renault at that time in 2017, I spoke about this a few episodes ago, I think with Fernando, with the Alpine program, they were investing a lot of money into it and a lot of money behind their engine after such a shit time with being a Red Bull manufacturer for the engine. Renault had gotten a lot of bad press. And so they were going like 2016 and 17, 18 kind of thing. They were investing a lot of money and really were looking like a promising future. And especially looking towards the new regulations that were going to come out, I think in 2020, but COVID delayed it. They looked like they were investing in the correct places to be successful for that era. So honestly, it was a smart move going to Renault. But during his time there, he could see cracks. There was the team principal Cyril Abitable or whatever. I don't know what his fucking name is. But Cyril, the team principal, was a bit of a wet wipe and a bit of all over the place, not that great. And I think whilst Carlos was there, he could probably see, yes, they're investing and from the outside this looks good, but there are cracks. And McLaren showed him an offer that was a lot more promising. Zach Brown's management style. At the time, they had Andreas Seidel instead of Andreas Stella as team principal. And Andreas Seidel is a very good engineer and a very good team principal. And that management system convinced him that was a better project to be on. So he went over to McLaren again to just progress up the grid. During his time at McLaren, the team was moving in a forward direction, but potentially not in a fast enough forward direction to what he wanted. And so when Ferrari came knocking, when who would it have been? Sebastian Vettel left the team. Ferrari came knocking and it was just an offer you can't really refuse. Like, Ferrari are the oldest team, the most successful team in our sports history. So when they come knocking, you not a lot of drivers are going to turn driving in a red car down. So yeah, it was just kind of an obvious move. And the thing that is good about Carlos Sainz, a stat about all of his teams, is it's become a bit of an internet meme, but you can literally see the results. Every team he goes to and takes his management and his passion and energy and professionalism and work ethic into, from where he starts with them to where he finishes with them, the teams have always done better. So during Renault, from when he went to them to when he left them, they were in a better position when he left than when he got there, as in the championship. McLaren were the exact same. Ferrari were the exact same, because in 2024 they actually did fucking pretty good in the championship.
Yeah.
But so it's quite a stat that, like, every time he goes to a new team within a season, like after one season, that next season is usually a really good season for that team, because Carlos Sainz is very good at pushing the team forward and giving good feedback around where the car needs good development, because he's got a good feel for balance of cars.
Right. Okay. If he moved from Renault to McLaren because that looked like the more promising prospect, and then he's at McLaren and Ferrari come knocking, it seems like he's a pretty sought after driver. Like he's a good driver.
Yep.
Would it then have been a pretty hard decision when it came out that Lewis was moving to Ferrari? Would it have been quite a hard decision for Ferrari? Who had to make way there between Carlos and Charles?
It wasn't even a question. Ferrari called him up and said, "You won't be driving for us next season. We've signed Lewis." Ferrari have nurtured and paid for all of Charles's junior career. For Ferrari, that wouldn't have, like the moment Lewis is on the table and having conversations, Carlos is the one getting the chop. Like it's never going to be Charles.
Okay.
And Carlos has openly spoken about it. Again, Jake Humphrey, you owe me a lot of money, but High Performance Podcast. I listened to it again the other day because it's such a good podcast. This episode with Carlos, but he openly speaks about that phone call and finding out. And he says like, it's such a shit thing when you get dropped by a team because usually it's that you're not performing well. He said, whereas in this case, I was actually, 24 and end of 23 going into 24. I was actually like potentially at the peak of his career, certainly the best he was feeling the best he'd ever driven. And to get that call, he's like, you can't not be mad at it. You can't be mad at it because it's fucking Lewis Hamilton. Like it's literally on paper the greatest driver of all time. You can't. You just can't argue with that decision. It financially makes sense. It potentially makes sense from a performance point of view, but it must have been a very hard pill for him to swallow. And he's spoken about the struggles of that time and all of last season, really coming and making the decision to then sign with Williams because he just felt so secure with Ferrari. Like they were having conversations towards the end of 23 of like, yeah, the contract's pretty much in the bag. We literally just need to finish the season, sign on the dotted line and we're done. And then they went quiet because Lewis became available and they gave him the call and but he then actually credit to him. And I think, this is why he was so sought after every team. It's no lie that every team was having conversations with him in 2024 to try and get him in the car, but he doubled down. And like in Australia that year, we were there. He won the fucking Australian Grand Prix 10 days after getting his appendix taken out, and he had to miss the second race of the season because and Ollie stepped in because of his appendix fucking bursting. Yeah. So like the guy knuckled down and grafted harder than he's ever grafted before. And he would spend late nights in the post-race briefings, in the pre-race briefings with the engineers. Like he did more work, he says, after getting sacked from Ferrari to prove to Ferrari and to prove to everyone else in the world that Carlos Sainz isn't a sour kid and he's not a quitter. He'll always work if there's a job to be done, no matter what's happening. And he's also spoken about like he would always he'd be open to going back to Ferrari. He's not closed the door.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. James's retort to that was, "Yeah, we'll see when we're beating them," and we beat them in 25. So, well, we beat them most races. We didn't beat them in the championship. We were close.
Okay.
Where else were we with Carlos? So yeah, why is he so formidable and so sought after? I think like we've touched upon it with the work ethic stuff. I truly believe if we're talking about who's good, if everyone was in equal cars, who would win the championship? I think on work ethic alone, Carlos would will his car and his team across the line before everyone else, because I think he's one of the most passionate and driven drivers on the grid. I think he's potential, like even when you just hear him talk, his first thing he thinks about in the morning is driving, and the last thing he thinks about at night is driving. He's so passionate, and this came from a young age. Obviously, anyone that doesn't know, his dad is a multiple-time rally champion, a Dakar winner. Dakar is a very intense desert endurance race, and I think his dad won it at the age of 61, literally like 2 years ago or something.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, he still races it now. He's in his 60s and he's racing Dakar.
Damn.
Yeah, he's a fucking weapon, machine of a man. And so that passion was passed on to Carlos. Like, Carlos grew up watching Fernando Alonso win championships and was the Spanish hero, but also he grew up watching his dad win championships in World Rally and fighting against people like Colin McRae, who is one of the best rally drivers ever to compete in the sport. Unfortunately died in a helicopter crash. But him and Carlos Sainz Sr. had huge rivalries, and Carlos Sainz Jr., our Carlos Sainz, had a front row seat to it. Yes. He's named after his dad.
You reckon?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know if you know, because you looked a bit confused. I didn't know if you knew his dad was also called Carlos Sainz.
No, I gathered that by the senior and junior stuff.
Okay, sorry, you just look confused.
Okay. I don't know what I was confused about, but not that.
Go skiing. But yeah, so obviously he was put in go-karts from a very young age, and then made his way through junior racing and was on the Red Bull program. with Carlos Sainz Sr. having connections with Red Bull, like Red Bull sponsoring for Dakar now. And he also has connections with Audi. He won the Dakar in an Audi, Carlos Sainz Sr. And so when Carlos Sainz Jr. became available in 2024, there was a lot of talk of him going to Audi. It was kind of Audi or Williams. An interesting fact that I love about Carlos going to Williams. In December of 23, before Lewis had signed for Ferrari, James Vowles went to Carlos and said, I think the project I've got at Williams, you would be the perfect person to align with that project. And he said, I know you've got a contract with Ferrari, but if you ever become available, please think of me and pick up the phone, because I would love to have you as a part of this project that I'm working on. And so Carlos knew that when he was dropped, he knew he was going to call James and he was going to have conversations with Williams, because he knew Williams were already interested.
True. Not a bad spot to be in, I suppose.
Yeah. I spoke a lot then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, no, I just like towards the end of that, I was like, I haven't taken a breath in a while. Go skiing. So yeah, he had a great junior career, and I think he's just one of the best drivers on the grid. One of his off-track moments for me. Oh, sorry, have you got something there?
Oh, just questions. Do you have many sort of stats around his junior career? Because he, obviously being a little bit older, he's probably perhaps I assume a little bit different to all the classic, just won F4 and then skipped everything, and now he's in F1 and like all that sort of fast tracking. I assume he had some slightly different competitions and GP3s and things like that. Any big highlights for me, Disc? He raced in something called Formula BMW.
Oh, yeah.
Does that still exist? What the hell's that?
I don't know if it does still exist, but it's similar to like Formula Ford, Formula Renault. It's just a junior form of Formula One.
Okay.
So in 2012, he raced in Formula 3 GP3 at the time, in the British and the European Formula 3 championships, finishing 5th in the European Series and 6th in the British Championship. So nothing too major. He performed in Formula Renault 3.5, won the title that year in 2014, which was a big stepping stone for him to get the Toro Rosso seat in 2015. But nothing like, no standouts like what we're seeing with the juniors of today, simply because it was a different time. During the GP3, GP2 era, there was a lot of different ones. So there was like Formula 3 Europe, there was Formula 3 England, there was Formula 3 France. Like there was all these different forms. And so when they brought it under one banner and said Formula 3, Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2 are the junior categories, and they made it more official. You don't look at drivers like this, or like, you don't look at their stats as much. You more look at like, were they racing through them years, and were they racing competitively, consistently? But also, through these years, there was a lot of good juniors coming through the ranks, like the Mercedes / McLaren and the Ferrari junior programs were bringing in a lot of fucking good drivers. Like, we're coming off the back of signing people like Sergio Perez and, people like that had joined F1 in 2012. So that next cohort, there was a lot of people in, and he would have competed against the likes of Max Verstappen in the Red Bull junior program, Danny Kvyat and other Red Bull drivers like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, nothing overly major. Like the GP3 in 2013, he finished 10th in the championship. Like, sure. Nothing's too stand out.
Okay.
I think Carlos's, as we've spoken about before, Carlos's main areas of improvement, and the reason why he's done so well in Formula One, is because it's his understanding of cars from a setup and a development point of view makes him a better driver. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if everyone was in equal machinery, he would will his car and his team over the line first, because he's more determined to work to be a better driver than having natural abilities like the likes of Max, let's say. He's got a heap of natural abilities. You've got to have that as well. But Carlos is a hard worker, first and foremost.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. I know exactly what you're saying.
Iconic moments for Carlos Sainz. In February of last year, in 2025, he became the GPDA director, which is the Grand Prix Drivers Association, which is just like union for drivers, basically, that race in Formula One or just drivers in general. So they will then speak their matters. They'll go and speak about certain matters with the FIA and with Formula One, and talk about the things from the driver's point of view. So he's like the spokesperson for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, lovely. And then you've spoken a little bit about his dad being a good racing driver.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I heard something about his dad managing him or something. Like, is his dad involved in his career in any sort of professional way?
Yeah. So when I talk about Carlos's management team and management structure, his cousin is actually his main manager and will do all the deal signing. But Carlos Sainz Sr. is certainly a part of that. But with him also being a professional racing driver, he can't be a part of every single conversation. But yeah, because Carlos Sainz is so... he's such a big character and holds a lot of weight because of his titles in rally. He's just known in the paddock and he's known with team principals and stuff. So it's natural for him to be involved in Carlos Sainz management. And I think it's smart for Carlos Sainz Jr. to involve his dad in that management structure. There was a whole thing last year where Carlos Sainz Sr. was going to run for the FIA president, and Carlos Sainz Jr. said if he decides to run for it, he's immediately fired from my management team. Like, he's not allowed to be a part of my management team if he's going to go for that.
Okay.
Because it just wouldn't be fair.
Yeah. Okay.
So where is old Carlos going into 26? Like, where is he at with his F1 career, and what should we be looking out for? Well, he's at Williams, which are the best team and they're going to win. So basically got a chance to be world champion this year.
Yeah.
And that's all we've got time for. No, he's in his second year, and as we've seen throughout his career, he usually performs, or the team around him usually performs better in his second year because he's a weapon and he gives good feedback, like we've said many times. So I think he's in a good position. I hope he's in a good position. He should be feeling more settled and welcomed in the team and comfortable there. So, it's the next stepping stone for him is just, where can we finish? Like 2 podiums last year. If the car's good, is he going to push for race wins? Is he going to push for more consistent podiums, more consistent top 5 finishes? Like, I think they're going to be his targets, and I think they're good targets to have. But it's I think certainly sky's the limit for Carlos.
Yeah, like surely if he seems like this very sought after driver that everyone sort of respects, and he seems like most people would seem to consider him as like probably one of the better drivers on the grid. All the teams that would be seemingly pretty happy to have him, unless Lewis Hamilton strolls along, I suppose. Surely at some point, good. Thank you. But surely if you've got a driver like that, at some point you want to win a championship, right? Yeah. Like that, it seems like that would be the limit.
Yeah.
Well,
that's also the top accolade.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's sort of what you would be hoping he could accomplish in his career. It's just a matter of can he get in the fastest car, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the point of him joining Williams, is that James and the management team at Williams have sold Carlos on their project and what they're wanting to achieve. And what they're wanting to achieve, like their target is championships. Their target isn't coming second or third or fourth. Their target is to win the championship for both the drivers and the constructors. And so I think for Carlos, it's... if that's your goal and you're waking up every day with that goal in mind, you're not waking up thinking like, oh, what's on my to-do list for today? You're waking up thinking, what's on my to-do list for next year? And how do I achieve that championship next year by the things I do today, the processes that I do today, and the things, the way that I develop my skills today. And I'm talking about the men and women that are building the cars and developing the team. Carlos aligns with that management style very well. So for me, when you look at his options, Mercedes had closed the door. Red Bull kind of didn't want him because of the Max angle. Like, they just wanted a number 2, and Carlos doesn't want to be a number 2. Ferrari had obviously closed the door. McLaren were very settled and have multi-year contracts with both their drivers. So there was kind of no other option. Like, Aston could have been a good move. Audi potentially, but huge question mark over what they're going to do, and whether he would have aligned with their goals. So Williams was, I think when you look at what he wants to get, for me, it was Williams, Audi, or Aston were his best 3. But out of them 3, I'm going to try and take my bias hat off. I think Williams's goals align with Alex's goals more from a goals point of view. Carlos's, yeah. Yeah, from a goals point of view.
Okay.
And we're also going to achieve them goals and win the championship this year. Bias hat went back on at the end there. I don't know if you noticed.
I did. Okay. Brilliant.
Go Skin.
Go Carlos.
Well, thank you for listening to Carlos Sainz's episode. This is, like we said, number 9, driver number 9 of 22. So there is another 13 episodes to go. That also means, everyone, there is only 13 days, less than 2 weeks until we see cars. Well, no, there's 2 weeks today. So we see cars on track in Melbourne at a free practice session. Hopefully we're going to be there. Who knows? We certainly don't know yet, which is scary. Well, I mean, as of recording, we're recording this quite early. Yeah, so as you're listening to this, we definitely do know, but who knows? If you are going, please let us know. Send us photos of your trip and let us know how you like it. It's a phenomenal race. It's a phenomenal track. There's a lot to do. And yeah, go the Fools. Come back and listen tomorrow.
Oh yeah, see ya.